Hello. Well, we're going to talk about how to make your smooth coil vase today. You're going to start off with your piece like this. I'm going to show you how to design it. It's going to be broken up in two parts actually. A making part and a decoration part. First thing you need is a template to go along with building your piece. And see how well you follow your piece. I'm not the greatest smooth coil project maker in the world, but did okay. You're going to work on making a template. And you have the inside part here. You learn how to use a circle tool in this project, how to cut the bottom out. So you have that part, so you cut that out. As well, if you're at home, you have to figure out a circle that matches, and stuff like that is what you're gonna have to do, or even use a compass too will work as well. You just cut a circle out on a piece of paper and then cut out your clay that way. There's ways you can do it. But yeah, and then we're gonna talk about designing this piece. It's gonna be three parts when you design it, and I'll talk more about that later, but it's gonna be getting your idea laid out, drawing it out, carving it, and then cleaning it up, which I've done here. And pretty much the piece is done. But I'm going to show you step by step how to build this with coils. And there'll be another video. We'll talk about how to decorate the piece. So let's get started. What I'm going to do here is I have my piece of paper already ready to go. I'm going to fold it in half. I'm going to draw my silhouette of the vase I picked. You're going to draw the one that I help you select. You're going to draw 4 of them out first in the packet I give you, and then we're going to pick one that you're going to use. I marked this height of it. This one's going to be 8 inches tall, and if you make a bottle, it's 10 inches tall for this project. They can change in size. It's got to be a minimum of 2 inches wide, so I make a mark there. It's actually an 1.5 inches is the radius there, so it's going to be a minimum of 2. I'm going to draw out the basic shape. Once I'm done with the shape, I'm going to use scissors and cut it out. Once I have my shape approved, I'm going to take some scissors and cut it out. Just cut the basic shape. And then once I'm done doing that, I can use the inside part to find out what my radius is going to be for my circle I need to cut out using the circle tool. The other part is going to be I'm going to use the silhouette to kind of use as my guide as I build my piece. That's what my shape's going to look like. That's the silhouette that's there. I need to check. And that's the circle tool. Just line it up with the piece folded in half. I need to get the radius. When I cut the circle out, it will become the diameter. Now it's time to get my clay ready. I kind of stretched it out a little bit, put the yellow sticks next to it, the 1/4 inch sticks, and roll it out with my rolling pin. I'm going to roll it out to get a nice flat piece of clay. I need a flat bottom to begin making my smooth coil project. So just roll it out, flip it back and forth like you've done in the past, and get ready to cut out the piece I need. With my slab of clay ready, I take my circle tool, I double check the measurement, make sure it lines up perfectly so it has the nice radius I need, don't need to measure. I just use that piece of extra paper and I put it in there, plunge it in, and I turn it. I gotta be really careful. I press towards the middle, hold it down tightly so I can cut a nice circle out, is what I'm doing here. Once I have my circle cut out, I fill in the little hole I made with the tool, and I'm ready to begin building my coil pot. Before I start building, I gotta make some coils, so I'm gonna prep some out. I'm gonna make about 2 or 3. First, I squeeze the coil out. Let's get the general thickness I want. Spray the table a little bit of water. When I roll it out, I wanna get the thickness of my thumb. That's what I'm looking about to get the thickness to build this part. When I smooth them and shape them out, they'll be the thickness of my pinky when I blend them and put them on there. But I kinda get the coils ready to go. So I kinda get them shaped, ready to go. Again, thickness of my thumb. When I blend them onto the pot, they'll be the thickness of my pinky. Now it's time to begin building. I have a little whirler you can use in the room, and I just kind of put them on there, begin to blend. I smooth the inside first, and then I work on the outside of the piece first. Always blend inside, then work your way to the outside. This helps you keep the shape general the way you want it to. I don't need the silhouette anymore, so I put underneath it so it doesn't get stuck to the little whirler in the room. And again, I blend from the inside, work my way around. I'm constantly double checking my template to make sure I'm following along with what I'm building. This is crucial and critical when building this piece. If you do not do that, it's not going to work. You always want to blend down as well. Always blend down and keep working, and keep double checking your template. Keep smoothing and blending. Don't worry about making it totally perfect, but you kind of work it around. I put a coil on there one at a time. I have a little bit of an overlap, and then I just kind of cut it away and remove it, so I know the coil is going to fit perfectly every time. Again, the coils I'm using are about the thickness of my thumb, and when I thin them out, it'll be the thickness of my pinky. As we can see here, my template shows me the pieces start flaring out. So I put these coils on here, I'm going to blend them out, and I'm going to push them out. Now, one thing to let you know about building this is if it's sat for a day or so, I got to score and slip that first coil on. So I put it outside the previous coil and begin to slowly blend it together. Again, I work my way on the inside first, then work myself on the outside. Kind of double check the template, make sure I'm following along. I can use a paddle, a spoon, whatever to get some general shape of it. Trying to get the basic shape of what I need. One thing you got to be really careful at this stage, if the clay is too soft, it will collapse. You got to be aware of that. So be kind of careful. Keep following along with what you're building. So I kind of get that shape going out, and then once I have the shape coming out, I kind of just keep building the piece directly on top of each other. Again, blending from the inside first. One thing I can do with building this piece is the bottom's getting kind of soft. So what I'm doing here is I'm using a hairdryer to kind of stiffen up a bit so I don't have it collapse on me. That'll happen. If the clay gets too soft, it will collapse. If the clay feels kind of flimsy, it's not a bad day to start. I'm also cutting off some extra clay here to kind of even out my piece because it's getting a little lopsided. Because when you make coils, they're always not going to be perfect. So you take the spinner, cut it, shape it, use the paddle, kind of get the desired shape I want. Keep checking that template. Make sure I'm following along with how the piece needs to be built. Now I'm getting to the part where I have to put the coils a little bit towards the inside because, well, the piece is starting to go inwards. So again, I put the coil inside the previous coil a little bit. Again, I blend the inside first and then work my way around. Again, I'm gonna cut off some extra clay. It's getting a little uneven. So I have it nice and even. Use a paddle, kind of compress that shape in a little bit. If I always blend the inside first, really double check each coil, it should not flare out. Once I get the shape inwards, I gotta begin to build straight up to finish off the neck of this piece. As you can see here, I'm getting to build my neck up. The coils are directly on top of each other. I kind of follow along with the piece I'm building, double check the template, begin to blend and smooth and kind of get my shape the way I want it to be. I noticed when building my piece, I need to get the flare out a bit more. So I'm using that wooden spoon to help expand my piece a little bit. So I'm using it to stretch out. I'm bracing with my hand and pushing with the spoon, trying to get to match up to my template. That's all I'm doing there. So I kind of just slowly begin to keep working my piece around, keep double checking, rolling some coils out, finishing off the neck and the lip of that piece. Again, cut it off, even it up, and keep building my piece right there. Again, as I'm building it, I'm compressing, blending, and smoothing. It's very important to keep doing that as I'm going along, blending and smoothing, double checking my sizes, smoothing everything out as best I can. Once I have the basic shape, I'm going to go over it with a paddle, try to smooth out some of the lines, try to even it up, use a rib. I can also take little pieces of clay, fill any gaps, divots, little pieces I don't have there I need to fix and smooth on out. Round out that lip as best I can, blend and smooth everything before I add the foot. Kind of get the basic shape I want. As you can see here, I got some little divots, got some clay, and I'll go in there and just fill them in. Again, just smooth them over with the rib, and they won't be there anymore. It just kind of helps clean up the piece because it's supposed to be a smooth coil vase. Very into this piece, I've added a foot to it. I'm going to kind of smooth the bottom half of it, getting it ready to go. I just take a coil of clay, add a foot. Remember, you must have all parts of a vase on this. So I added my foot to it. So now I flipped it over using a hair dryer to get it stiffen up a little bit, paddling it down, making sure it's ready to go, adding a little clay to the bottom part of it if I need to, kind of just double checking my piece, making sure it's ready to go before I begin to design it.